Well, today I am here with Amy Dubin, who's part of our admin team here at the Arc of Ohio. And Amy, I really don't know your exact title. I should look at your signature for email. We just call her the ISP guru. Yeah, just kind of give us a little introduction of yourself. I think a lot of people probably already know who you are, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm Amy Dubin, and I do work in the Columbus office, the state office for the Arc of Ohio. I'm the ISP compliance specialist.
Okay.
And I read all of our ISPs for our family choice program for compliance and make sure that I process all those IEPs, make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
There we go. Good. And that is the topic of today, is the Ohio ISP. And as you know, it's been kind of a new ISP that's been coming through. Some counties are doing it already, some are not. I really don't know that number as of right now. How many are? How many aren't?
I don't either. I'm getting more and more starting, but there's still a few counties that haven't. Doesn't seem like they've started the process.
Yeah. So, so we're just going to kind of go through top three things. The name is going to tell us the top three things that you need to know about ISPs. And ISPs sometimes they can be overwhelming, and sometimes when you sit on those ISP meetings, you're kind of as a parent, you're kind of thinking, is this right? Is this all that can be on there? Sometimes you also leave those meetings kind of wondering, I don't know if that's really going to be all the supports that are needed, or I don't know if that's there's a lot of questions there. So hopefully this video will kind of give you a little bit of clarity, as far as what's there.
Yeah, I think the first thing, and this wasn't one of the top three things, but it is important to note that you want the ISP to reflect what they can do as well as what they can't do. And I feel like even as a parent, because I've sat in on many of my own son's ISP meetings as well as others for the ARC. And I feel like, sometimes you walk away feeling like depressed and like, is this really it?
Yeah.
What I think he can do more than what it looks like he can do in the plan. So you do want to speak up.
Yeah, for sure. And with the whole DD system, it's tough. Like if you're doing a needs assessment, you kind of you don't want to be a negative person, but you also don't want to say how things could be. You want to talk about, what we always say, what the reality is, because so you can kind of see those needs and supports. When it comes to your ISP, you don't want to go the other way. You don't want to do that. You want to kind of so the other way say, okay, well, this ISP is very negative. Like let's look at some of these positive things. And those positive things, when you build this on the ISP, they can be building blocks for a great trajectory into the future of that kind of thing. So so the top three things that you ought to know about ISPs, let's go through the first one.
Okay. So the sections of the new OISP, there's 7 of them in every single OISP, and it should be communication, advocacy and engagement, safety and security, social and spirituality, daily life and employment, community living, and healthy living.
Yeah.
And then under each of those sections, you're going to have what's working, what's not working, important to and important for, skills and abilities, known and likely risks, like if they have a risk of falling or seizures, that kind of thing, and then services and supports.
Yeah, and under those, like, so for each one of the underneath all those sections, and you have the kind of those subsections, I guess it would be.
Right.
Do you feel like the ISP is you don't want to cheap shot those sections, right? It's more valuable the more information you can put in that section. So even as a parent, if you feel like that's not really telling the whole story about what's working, what's not working, you have every right to say, no, let's put some more stuff in there. Let's make it be what it is.
Yeah, the more detailed, the better, especially when the DSPs then go in and read the plan so they know everything they can about that individual, because if the DSP is with them all day long, you need to know all of that. That's important.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like the second point is that it should be more of a conversation rather than a checkbox process.
Yeah.
So, the OISP helps you start the conversation, but then it really should just be, tell me about him or her, and what are the good things, what are the struggles, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good.
And then the third thing is, I feel like included in the planning process, the individual's point of view, if they're verbal or have a communication device, I think it's really important to get their point of view.
Yeah.
And then I think that the DSP should be in on the meetings, because I feel like if they're with that individual all day, they have a lot of valuable information as well.
Yeah, for sure. I was in a meeting the other day, and we're talking about all these things, and the person that was there from that provider, and then the providers are doing all they can. I understand that. But the person that was representing that provider, they're like, well, I really don't know. That was a constant answer. I'm not really sure. I mean, I've met this person before, but I really don't know. It's like, why are you here? Like, I understand you're here from the provider, but yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of value, to having the DSP there for sure.
Definitely. And then, of course, any family members that can contribute valuable information is important. And then you can have anybody you want in the ISP meeting. You can have therapists, you can have, the DSPs, that if you have an advocate that you want there, you can do that. It's really up to the family and up to the individual.
Yeah. Yeah. If maybe you have an ISP meeting that's coming up soon, and you're kind of trying to plan for this, you certainly want to walk away from that ISP feeling very confident that everything in that ISP is accurate, everything is thorough, and you feel like anyone could pick up that ISP and be able to provide quality care and support, to the individual.
Right. If you end up moving to another county in Ohio, you want the new county to be able to read that and understand it completely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there were definitely some situations when COVID hit where some different providers had to change, and there was a lot of things, some day hubs were closing and just all these different things. So where the ISP, because it wasn't put together thoroughly enough, there's a lot of things. It's like, oh yeah, that's a tendency for John Smith or whatever. And it's like, should have been the ISP so that we would have known that.
Right.
But you just never know. But it should certainly, be accurate, be thorough, something you're confident in whenever you walk away, for sure. So those are the top three things. Let's list them one more time. So
you have the 7 sections of the ISP, and then the subsections, what's working, what's not working, that kind of thing. And then just to make sure you're having, a conversation to include all the detailed information. And then just make sure that you include everybody who's important to that individual that can contribute to the plan.
Yeah, good. There you go. So those are the top 3 things that you need to know about the Ohio ISP. Thank you, Amy, for coming on board and recording this.
Thank you.
If you have any other questions about the Ohio ISP, or maybe you have an ISP meeting coming up and you just feel like you're not prepared, give us a call. We're here for you. We're advocates. You can call us at 614-487-4720, and we'd be happy to help for sure. So next time, enjoy your day. We'll talk to you soon.